The first time you walk into a casino to play slots, I hope you don't win, but I hope you win at slots the second time you walk into a casino. Why? Because winning at your first time playing slots is bad for you. It sets an unrealistic expectation. The bigger the win, the longer it will take to get to let go of this unrealistic experience. The first few times you played slots, what happened? Did you win big? Comment in the live chat or below this recording on YouTube to let us know. I've recently had a consultation with a married couple who with a business who went to Vegas for the weekend and won big at slots twice, weekend before last. They were able to keep their winnings, which was great to see. And they signed up for a couple of consultations with me before heading back to Vegas the next weekend. That was this last weekend. That was also an excellent idea to get a handle on what had happened. But then they started asking me about supplementing their successful business with playing slots. And in the second consultation a few days later, that idea had progressed to just playing slots and giving up the business. And while both are possible, and we talked about what making a living meant to them and how to go about doing it, I had to strongly recommend they finish going on their second trip to Vegas before making such a long-term decision. This is the dark side of playing slots. Beginners start thinking after an early win, I should just play slots from now on. I must point out obvious stuff, like maybe see if you win on a second trip or find your average profit over, a couple of trips. This dark side isn't about the idea of making a living at playing slots. It's about making hasty decisions, extremely hasty decisions. And of course, I'll be taking your questions because this is a live stream. I'm only saying that because, of course, the people who are live here now know it's a live stream, but you might be watching this after the fact. Hello to you watching this recording. Thank you for being here, and be sure to subscribe for notifications so you can have your questions answered the next time I do one of these. And also, welcome to you, dear podcast listener. For some of you, this is a YouTube streaming video. For others, you're watching this stream directly on my Facebook page. And for still others, you're listening to my podcast. Perhaps you have, perhaps you're using your favorite podcast app, or you're using my Apple Android mobile phone app to download this audio as a podcast bonus episode. Yes, I'm talking to you, John, slowly driving to work in heavy traffic in Manila, the Philippines. I'm also talking to you, Brian, driving your freight truck somewhere in the U.S. on the U.S. highway system. Eyes on the road, John and Brian. In any case, stick around, and I'm sure it will be of value to you, even if you're watching this after the fact. But those of you who are here live, thank you so much. If you have a question, use hashtag question. I'll put that banner up so you can see it. Hopefully, if it's not too small of a phone, that's so I can be sure to spot your question to me instead of comments in the live chat to each other. After all, this is also a community video where friends check in about how their slots play has been going lately. And thanks to the other creators of slots channels who are quietly watching my live streams. I'm glad so many of you have decided to watch. Educating yourself is important, and the gradual passing down of my concepts onto your audience members is how our industry grows and improves. So please enjoy the show. And if you have questions, feel free to email me at john@professorslots.com. Improve your slots performance in 30 days or less with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win. You also get 3 free valuable bonuses, including 1 month free membership. This is professorslots.com. Whoops. Yes. And so here you will see the course, the free bonuses, course content, testimonials from participants at professorslots.com/30 days. But you also get free membership in my, what's going on? I also get 1 month free membership in my paid community, which we have renamed from the mouthful Slots Enthusiast Growth Network, which SEQ yeah, it was just like a mouthful. So we've renamed it as of Thursday night. Thank you, everybody who contributed to that. It's now called Slots IQ. Slots IQ. If you want to, go check out the testimonials and course content, it's all explained in detail here. But if you're still on the fence about whether to buy the course, remember that the price of the course is increasing next weekend on Sunday night. It will soon no longer be 40% off for an $80 savings at midnight Eastern next Sunday. And as you can see on this countdown clock, 8 days, 12 hours, 54 minutes, and 14 seconds from now, it will go up. If you've purchased the course, you're good to go, because you have lifetime access. But if you don't have the course, now is the time to get it. Time is running out. I remember when I first started playing winning hand pays. It was at my third casino. This happened back when I was in the middle of my engineering doctorate program at Iowa State. It was April 2004. Over 6 days, I won $28,500 in jackpots. Yes, it was very exciting. My profit, I made a profit. I didn't spend all that playing. I made a profit of 32.6%, entering the casino with a total of $13,605 and leaving with $20,102. Now, I took $500 the first day I went, and everything after that was a fraction of my winnings. So, just a poor graduate student at the time. As I've mentioned in the past, making a profit over bankroll from 30% to 50% is successful slots play. For knowing as little as I did back then, even now I'm proud of my performance. 32.6%, absolutely. That's fantastic for a newbie at this third casino ever. And let me bring up something else that I need to have here, which I did not. And go. Where is it? There it is. And had to have my sound effect. Thank you, Chuck, for your donation of $20.73. Chuck says in his super chat, today is hopefully the final day of helping the in-laws with their big move. We'll catch the replay. Thank you, Chuck. That's why I wanted to interrupt myself, because I know that he had plans. Also, thank you very much, Chuck. Slots of fun. And I don't see Jan, Texas Tootsie, here yet. She may or may not be here. These are my new moderators who will be helping out Paula, my moderator that I've had for years now. We are all catching up and learning. So if Chuck, Fun, who is actually a couple of people, and Jan, who is not here, have little wrenches symbols next to their names, and that makes them that's their moderators now. And thank you so much for volunteering. Okay, so at the time, okay. Magpie 11 has also given me a donation with her usual good morning winners. Magpie, you have a message within Slots IQ, the Slots Enthusiast Growth Network, asking you a question, and actually two. Do take a look at that. I know it's hard to find those things sometimes, and be interested in your answer. Great. Chuck and Jan and Fun have all said yes. No pressure, though. Right. So back in 2004, at the time I was over my head. day by day, I was stopping by the office of Tim, a professor now retired, and talking about what was happening at the casino. Tim was my first audience. So I first spoke to him on Monday after my third trip to the casino over the prior weekend, then again on Wednesday and again on Friday. By Friday morning, I'd won over $25,000 in hand pays. Did I mention that as a graduate engineering researcher, I was making half that for the year? My annual stipend salary was $12,000, and my hand pays in 6 days was twice that. And in less than a week, in 6 trips to the casino lasting 4 hours or less, I'd made a profit of slightly more than half my annual salary. Like I said, I was over my head. Oh, and I didn't know it at the time, but because I kept good gambling records, I got a tax refund of about $5,000 for the income taxes I overpaid on those hand pays. So for that year, my gambling profits ended up being 54% over what I'd spent for slightly more than half my annual salary as an engineering graduate student. Just overwhelming. So there I was on Friday of a very long and exciting week, telling Tim the whole story while he just listened, all the details, all my thoughts on what was happening. And then I said to him, "What am I even doing in graduate school? Why aren't I doing this all the time instead?" And that's when Tim spoke up. He said, "I've been listening, and this is all very interesting, but I haven't been worried about any of it until you said that." Those of you who have read my book know what happened next with my slots play at Prairie Meadows in Iowa, how I went back 2 days later with my usual $500 bankroll to play the same highly visible slot machine, and how that $500 was gone in about 10 minutes. I'd found that casino's winning slot machine with a view to and from the bar, won nearly $30,000 over less than a week, including hundreds of wins under the $1,200 limit for hand pays. Then nothing. The casino had changed the odds, so I now won nothing at all. It was a $1 denomination machine, by the way, which, you win hand pays on $1 denominations, and it's just like, that's unusual. But so what would you do if this happened to you? What if the third casino you went to play slots at was this type of experience? How would you handle it? Yes, I kept working on my doctorate, and eventually I got it, and an engineering job 2 years later in Connecticut, working for the primary military jet engine manufacturer in the world. And 6 years later, in 2012, was recruited to Ohio by the primary commercial jet engine manufacturer. Then through all this, I wanted to show you something. Just a second too late here. This is me. This is me in 2015, a year after the events I was telling you about, because of course I went back and tried again and again because I had some ideas I wanted to check out. So all these are dated. Looks like I think they're like November. Oh, look, the second one there, that's my birthday. And so these are all from, let me share this. Prairie Meadows at the time would give you these pictures, and I kept them, the little keychains. I did not keep any of the 13 or so hand pays from 2014 because I had no idea I should keep these things. And like I said, over my head. But a year later, I was like, yeah, sure, I'll keep a couple of keychains, and yeah. That's I still have have those around, which is kind of fun. So after all that, late the next year, I started acting on the ideas I'd been considering for the last 9 years at 2 new casinos in or near Cincinnati, Ohio. After I went to Connecticut, worked for 6.5 years, came to Ohio, got recruited. They saw my name, called me up and said, would you like would you like a job? And I said, $20,000 more per year, please. And they said, no, 20% more per year, please. And they said, how about 18.5? And as my coworker at the time, who got shushed by somebody, the boss watching, you have to go, he said. But my counter offer was to ask for a $10,000 signing bonus because they couldn't meet my 20%. This is just how it works. You work 30 years as an engineer to try to get this happen, and then you just negotiate what works for you. It's very expensive in Connecticut, and I was able to buy a house once I got to Ohio. But enough personal stories. Actually, it isn't enough personal stories. I've been neglecting telling you my personal stories for years, and all this stuff matters. So after all that, I started acting ideas. And when I got to the two new casinos that opened in 2013 in or near Cincinnati, I won 90 hand pays in 9 months, including just over 50 hand pays in the first 6 weeks, and then a car. After that, I wrote my 200-page book, Learning to Win, to explain what had happened and how I'd gotten to this point over a decade. I've said all this because, well, you should know who I am and what I've done relative to slots. But this live stream is about the dark side of slots success. Winning so much at slots at my third casino changed my life. It changed my life. I had to work hard for it not to derail my life, to not give up on getting an engineering doctorate and eventually becoming the number 4 world-class engineer in my micro niche. But I've also accepted a parallel path. Winning at slots early on changed my life, and I kept going on with my life's plan. But in 2004, I started a second life's plan. In parallel, I started becoming Professor Slots. How could I not? This dark side of slots is always there. Maybe you watched my live streams, thought I can do that, and started your own YouTube slots channel. Uploaded your first video, and with only 2 subscribers and 0 likes, Brian Christopher comments on your video. He likes your video, and now you have 3 subscribers, and you wake up to tens of thousands of views the next morning because that's how the YouTube algorithm works. Surprise! Welcome to your life-changing experience. That's Brantley's story, as he told it to me over the phone. I asked him if he'd be interested in being interviewed for my podcast so you could hear him tell it, but that didn't happen. And I've now moved on from giving interviews on my podcast. But thanks again, Brantley, for asking me to be your live stream co-host. I had to say no, as you know, including the reason why, which had nothing to do with you. I wish you well. Good luck. So that's the dark side of slots under discussion. My 18-year slots journey, another's 5-month or so slots journey, and a couple's 2-week slots journey. There are other dark sides to slots. What I've been talking about are opportunities where you try to make something good happen. But there's also problem gambling, on which I cannot say much. Why? Because I'm not a medical professional, and there are legal liabilities issues associated with offering any medical advice. But on this topic, I can and do offer my responsible gambling website. So if you go to, you can see that at the bottom of every page in the footer, there is responsible gambling. This is what it looks like. There are links to services, helpful resources the world over, and also a 24-hour hotlines. And so that is the limit of which my lawyer will allow me to talk about that topic. Yet other dark sides to slots are scammers. These shady individuals see an opportunity to effectively steal money from naive slots players. Either someone standing next to you at the casino saying, now make maximum bet, and then you do, and they say, and you win, and they say, well, that's half those winnings are mine because I told you to hand it over. And others are more online. Have you heard the expression sharpshooters? People asking for thousands of dollars to give, at best, common sense advice about slots. Then they disappear overnight, but pop up somewhere else with a new name and website. There are others that have headed down a dark path. Until I came along 7 years ago when I started my Professor Slots business, all that existed in the educational slots field was scammers. To build an educational slots industry, I had to decide how to handle them. Are they helping you? Are they hurting you? Are they only hurting themselves? I assume good intentions. I always assume good intentions until proven wrong. But I am a leader in the field of educational slots, and leaders get attacked by default by those that are jealous, intimidated, or both. Growing a channel with hate was only popular 10 years ago. Now, according to YouTube experts, it no longer works. It is no longer a successful YouTube strategy. And getting people to believe nonsense about other channels while themselves requiring commenters to be subscribers and telling fans wanting to ask a question in a live stream to first buy a membership is, well, what is known in business circles as black hat marketing. I care deeply about slots enthusiasts being knowledgeable about scammers. They will they will always come and go. There will always be someone trying to make a quick buck. Like never click that link in a text message from someone you don't know. So welcome to the modern world and such first world problems. As leader, I'm pointing out this other dark side of slots. Good luck avoiding those dark alleys along your ongoing slots journey. I appreciate you. Improve your slots journey in 30 days or less with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win. You also get 3 free valuable bonuses, and including 1 month free to my Slots IQ membership. It just rolls off the tongue. It's so much easier than Slots Enthusiast Growth Network. As the fans, as we were talking the other night in the Slots IQ weekly Zoom meeting, it's also very slick, which is kind of the acronym. So, and I guess the people in it would be slickers. I don't know about that. They don't know about that. We're working through it. 1 month free to my Slots IQ membership, where you'll get community support and accountability. Visit professorslots.com/30 days to learn more about the free bonuses, course content, and testimonials from participants. As you can see here, that racket coming from behind me is actually in front of me is my cat climbing up from the kitchen onto the rail. You going to come over here? There is, but soon it will no longer be 40% off or an $80 savings. The price increase will happen at midnight Eastern next Sunday, as you can see on this countdown clock. If you've purchased the course, you're good to go because you have lifetime access. But if you don't have the course, now it's time to act. Great. So we have questions. And let's go through. I think the first one was from Noel from early in, I think before we even started, like 7 minutes before we even started the live stream. I show up early and we kind of chat sometimes. If you care to be here for that, try to make a good experience for everybody. Right. Noel has a question. Hi, John. Big fan. Thank you. Does my $100 or any amount of free play stand the same odds of success as it is as if I played it my own $100 bill into the machine? I have heard varying opinions about this. You have read and heard different varying opinions about this because it varies. If you look at if you get a mail flyer, let's say you get a mail flyer, if you check the bottom of the mail flyer with the free slots play, in the fine print, it'll tell you something important. It will tell you the dollar value of your free play. If it's $15, it does not have a value of $15. You can't go out and buy soup with it. What is the real market value of that free play? Fractions of a penny. Every dollar is fractions of a penny. It might be worth a whole penny if you got like $100 worth of it. It is minuscule. This is what's happening. The casino knows it's not real money. It knows what's in the machine. It keeps track of it. It doesn't show you this, but it keeps track of what amount of money is in the machine that is free play and real money. It will use the free play first. It will, if you press cash out, but stay at the machine, you don't pull your card out and leave. If you press cash out, then you will have, it will print out a voucher for the amount of real money, but leave the free play in. So I'm kind of gone off on a tangent here, where if you want to keep the money you made from your free play, then just hit that cash out button so that you know how much is remaining that's free play in the machine, and you have the cash to go. Because a lot of people would use the free play and then whatever they win with it, and they say, I didn't win anything from it. And it's like, well, you can, cause it to spit out, to print out what what you won. So I wanted to mention that as an aside. But casinos know it's not worth money, and the gaming regulations of states is about keeping track of the real money you put in and paying back 90% on average for like a whole state. And that is not the case with free play. It's zero money went in. And what's 90% of zero money? Zero. Close enough. And some fraction of a penny less, when it was only worth a fraction of a penny, and now it's worth less than that. So casinos see this. They know the laws that they work under, and they say there's no reason why we have to give back money because we're under no legal obligation to do so. And so some casinos will be happy to take it. The whole point was to get you to the casino to spend it. That's been accomplished. We're done. Then there's other casinos that say, just make it part of the game. Don't treat free play differently from real money. Let's not even bother with that. It's a dark path to go down, because now everybody, will stop coming to casino with their free play once they figure this out. And it's just, it's short-term gains and not long-term, reputations. It's ultimately going to get caught out, as everything does. And so they just say, yes, sure, we could be that way, but let's just treat it like it is real money. Which approach does your casino take? There's a fairly easy way to check. When you go into the casino to spend some bankroll, don't spend the free play first. Go around, use some of my techniques. Find a winning slot machine. Prove it with your $100. Hey, every little bit I get a win, and I'm kind of like increasing my bankroll. Then put in your free play and see if you continue, just like you have for the last 10 minutes, to, win this and that and the other thing. But if it drops to zero, if you get no wins with the free play, then that's what your casino is choosing to say, we don't owe anything on this, and so we'll just take it. But if you continue to win as you have been for the last 10 minutes on a winning machine, then they don't do that. And that's the only way to check to see which one. If when that 10 minutes, you spend your free play and it just dropped to nothing, and then you go back to real money and it goes back to where it was. It's not only did the dip occur, but the increase occurred before and after free play, and that's how you know that they do that. And again, it's not illegal. It's just the point was to get to the casino, and that was accomplished. We're done. We're out. That's what the casino says. But the others realize that that has a impact on their reputation, and so they will make it. And that's why you get two answers. Some people say, yep, that happens at my casino, and others say, nope, it doesn't happen to my casino, and that's what's going on. The casino chooses. Yeah. Questions? Do you have, from Magpie, hi Magpie, hashtag question, do you have the tip the professor option available on your website? So let us go to, let's see here, share. So this is professorslots.com. If you go to any article, the latest is, does using a player's club card make you lose? We'll go there. There's something on this called a sidebar over here on the side, sidebar. And here is Tip the Professor. Show your support, Tip the Professor. This is through PayPal. You can go directly to it by typing professorslots.com/donate. This is, when I sell a book on Amazon, Amazon takes 70% of it, which is better than selling a book through a publisher, because then they take 92% of it. So I was kind of happy with only losing 70%. A lot of people don't know that. And then there is YouTube, which if you give a donation, I take a certain percentage of it. And people I know get really upset by how much they take. It's part of their business. And for your concern, this is PayPal. PayPal has been raising their prices on how much they charge. It is less than YouTube. If you want to give me a donation that has no fees whatsoever, there is two ways to do it. One that's hard, and hard for me, hard for you, which is, this is my address at the bottom of my webpage, and you can send a check. But I don't like that. I don't like to have, in the mail and never knowing what's going on, but it would be zero. But the other way to go to zero is something similar, where there's something called ZELLE. I have attached that app to my business bank account, business checking account. And so you can deposit into my checking account from Zelle. You'll need to get the app. You'll need to do what it offers, and it's just something that is very common, and that is a bank transfer. And all I know is something came in, and so that will be zero cost. And I somebody gives me $20 on YouTube, and I'm like, thank you for trying. So that's what I have, a couple of different ways. Fun says, is every payout taxable, or is just the profit over expenses? Wondering what to prepare for and ask the CPA when it comes true. Everything's taxable. You don't decide. The IRS is very clear about this. You don't decide what's taxable. They decide what's taxable. And so if you have gambling deductions, this is like a big point of contention. If you have gambling deductions, then you can deduct gambling losses up to your winnings. If you don't win at slots, then of course you can't deduct anything. But if you get a hand pay, or you win a car, or you win $200, you can deduct up to that if you can document, if you can log a daily, the casino, the date, what went in, what came out. And I think the IRS also asks who is with you. And yes, people might say, but what about the win-loss statements from, hang on, win-loss statements are for audits. IRS has been very clear about that. They trust you to keep a log. They don't trust casinos to keep a win-loss statement, particularly when casinos often in their win-loss statements just tell the difference between what you won and lost. And the IRS is a stickler about they're doing the math and other people not doing the math for them. Hope that helps. Hey, Larry. Oh my goodness, Larry. Hi, Larry. You're back. Sorry, my voice gets all high. Great to see you. It's been what, like a year? Happy, I hear sunny England. I've heard that's a bit more than sunny, but wow, yeah. You have he says, I have my first Vegas trip in over 2 years. Has it been 2 years or has it been 1 year? Wow, welcome back. And I have my first Vegas trip in over 2 years this coming November. I have a question for you, but I'll let the show start rolling first. I will check to see later if you have a question. And of course, I believe you have my email address at john@professorslots.com. I hope you are well. Yeah. Next question. D says, hi, Prof. People call me PS because why? Well, I always go on. Sorry. I was trying to be funny. Okay. Are you more likely to win on a 5-spin method with a bankroll of $500 versus a bankroll of $100? I've been starting with $100 at the time and versus putting it all in at once. Is this a mistake? It doesn't matter. For the casino, if you put in 100 or if you put in 500, if you put one $100 bill in instead of 5 $100 bills in, it doesn't matter. But I find it, for me personally, I find that if I can just like, you know, it's a loss limit method for me. Some people like to put in just as much as they're going to spend, and that's their loss limit, and it helps them to move on to the next machine. For me, I like to put in the full $500 as my loss limit method. To then, that's what I'm working with. I never touch my wallet again because I feel that going back to my wallet a bunch of times is like, what's a couple more times going back to my wallet? So for me, it was best to just get it into the machine and work with the voucher. Spend only $100 maybe on that machine, move to the next, another $100, move to the next, another $100. And that way I'm not constantly reaching for my wallet, which is a habit I wanted to get out of. But again, the casino doesn't mind either way. But it may be more successful for you to do what works for you as far as a loss limit. Those are very, very important. Jason says, do you still regularly play slot machines, and is there a way to watch you play with your strategies through a live streaming? That would be wonderful to do, but you have to understand, if you understand my methods are to walk into a casino and walk around the casino. I can't record. Nobody can record. Another slots channel tried and said, this has never been done. And it's like, I sent him a text message. You broke the law 3 different ways, and I don't know if they took it down or if YouTube gave him a copyright strike, but yeah. Blithely recording people's faces without getting a signature release on the privacy, looking at, in the background are surveillance cameras for the casino as you pan and look around and you walk along, and music coming from the overhead, which is copyright protected. It's a nightmare to walk through a casino, which is what I would show you. Now, will and I go about once a month. Recently I sold my car, and so I'm figuring out what is it called? Uber, which has been a variety of things. It's about an hour away, the one I want to go to next. And I'm working with them. I'm getting numbers and talking to them about recording regularly to get a contract, which allow me, because otherwise nobody is allowed to, but in Ohio, but they have apparently given somebody else a contract. So it does happen at Belterra Park. And so it's possible that they will give it to me, but I got to work through them. I'm told sometimes it'll take like 3 years to get those things. I'm going to see what happens. And then what I would do, I would show you my playing slot machines, but it'd be unlike anything you've ever seen. I would make up to 5 bets. And if I won on the first bet, video's over. I would maybe go to another machine, maybe it'd be 4 bets. Over. Because I won. Because that's what works at Belterra Park. And that's not very satisfying for you. So if I were to do what you asked, you would not like it. Yeah. What I've been doing lately as far as my casino trips is going to a new to me casino. And you know, you can't record if you're first time you've ever been there before. So I will try to see if I can include um, uh, uh, going to the casino and doing something, but I'm have no intention of following all those great slots channels that provide you with entertainment and doing live streams. It's you know, they do great work at that, but their goal is entertainment. Their goal is not education. So if I were to do that, I will tell you now, you will not like it because I won't be doing what they're doing. I would say this is happening, that's happening. This is what happens when, you know, that happens, and so it'd be going on about loss limits, preserving gains, and I can just imagine what you would say. John, just play. And I would be like, it's a teachable moment. That's what I do. And so all this probably sounds like an excuse. Um, I hope that you understand that I am an educational slots channel. And so I go to casinos right now, new to me casinos. I figure out how to win. I report on it, try to do a video from the parking lot because I can't immediately get a contract to record. And that's what I'm trying to do to emphasize educating you. Yeah. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate the question. We do, well, I was going to say, so I think that's probably it. I just have this one slots channel. I don't have another, although that's a good idea for eventually just going and recording. I mean, I could give up teaching you and make a buck by just sitting down on a machine with after getting a contract and just playing, losing $10,000 as Brian Christopher does. And then, well, what could I do? I could, you know, just make views on YouTube and no education whatsoever. There's plenty of ways to make money. There's plenty of ways to make big money. And that's one way to make big money, but it's not my business plan. No. Camilla says, hit the like button. So hit the like button. And just to move out of the way for the people, there is Curie over on her on the couch. She likes that there, and other people like watching that there. Larry says, question, here he is. I'm in Vegas November 8th to November 16th. The Knights have a hockey game on the 12th. Raiders have a game on the 13th, and the Knights have another game on the 15th. Would early morning 14th be best to play slots? If you don't know, you can, I think you're a member of the Nevada Slots Enthusiast Growth Network. What you're trying to find out is whether or not the casino has what it takes for my counter strategy of early morning to work. And I don't recall people telling me that that did work in Las Vegas. So, or at which casinos have that as a way to sort of manipulate players. So it depends. You have three opportunities. 1, 2, 3. So on the morning of the 13th, morning of the 14th, morning of the 16th, you can just go to a high limit room and see if anybody's winning big jackpots when they're all alone. And then the next 2 mornings, be there. But if they're not, if nobody does, it's possible that either the casino doesn't do that or that they didn't need to do that. And so then you need to go to another casino and see if they have it. One with a different corporation, like go to if you first time you went to an MGM, go to a non-MGM, maybe a Caesars property, and just see if they have it. You have a couple opportunities to do it. It's well worth checking out, but capitalizing on you know, going, it's a little harder to capitalize this. It's one of the techniques that I can only use at new to me casinos if I go and spend the night and wake up early. And then I can try to do that then. Yeah. If you are an early riser, check. Duke says, is free play causing the gameplay and odds of the slot to stay fixed? Then it is zero value. As a result, the accounting ledger is not shifting. I always forget the response to Shaka when the walls fell. Somebody knows I'm a science fiction fan. So is free play credit causing the gameplay and odds of the slot to stay fixed? Then it is zero value. So when you're using free play, it's basically not money. And the casino knows the gaming regulations very well and can decide to make it as though it's not worth anything, and therefore they don't have to return 90% of it as required by state law for real money, because it's not real money. Now, that's kind of like bad for the reputation to do that, but a lot of casinos are kind of short-term thinkers on these topics, and so they could very well do it. And the point was to get you to the casino, and that happened, and they're out. That's it. They're done. Now, other casinos put a thought or two into this and aren't quite so mercenary, and say, just leave it at the same. Just make it so that we treat it like money. Less complication. We don't have to buy that feature with our casino operating system, and it's all sort of like, it's ethical, maybe a little bit better ethical. I'm sorry to talk about casinos and ethics, but there's legal, and then there's ethical, and treating your customers right is part of having a good business. So that can be done. It's all legal. I just don't like the practice. Margaret Magpie 11 says, I often hit the collect button in the middle of using my free play and pocket my winnings. I have won a hand pay on free play only once. I won $2,000 as part of an event. There was a promotion, and they said, I think I mentioned this before. They said, you get as many entries as hand pays as you've had in the last 3 months. And I had 54 hand pays in the last 3 months. So I was like, I went, and they had a drawing, and I remember going up and, I'm here, and this is my card, and I'd like to, you have to be there to win. And the person was, the casino employee was like, 54 hand pays. And then he's like, even louder, 54 hand pays to his coworker. And then he's pretty much shouting to the crowd, 54 hand pays. And I'm just like, yeah. We good here? Can I go? And so, I won. Apparently, with 54 hand base, I thought, would I win like 2 or 3 times? Because they have like 10 or 20 drawings for that promotion. And they said, no, once you win, then you're out. And I'm like, oh, come on, I could have won a second time. But they gave me $2,000, and I went and played that $2,000 in free play. It came out about an hour later, and I went to the high limit room, and I made $1,980 from it, none of which were hand pays, none of which were over $1,200. So that casino let me win. Now, I was a little concerned when I won the car, and they're like, do you want the car, or do you want the cash, or would you like to have a cashier's check, or would you like $40,000 in free play? And I was like, so basically you want to not pay. And that casino was a different casino, and I'm like, I haven't checked out what your free play is like. No. Well, you can do part of it as free play. No. And this is with my hands shaking because I just won a car, and I try to anticipate questions so that I can just remember them instead of try to think during emergencies what would happen. Yeah, Larry says heat wave. I heard. Doug says, question, I'm visiting Las Vegas from July 24th, which is tomorrow, through August 3rd. I will be using your winning strategies. Have you or anyone seen in recent or new trends? Any recommendations on casinos downtown or on the Strip? What was it? Bellagio and Tropicana. They have the Bellagio, was it 2 weekends ago, was hopping. I had a couple of people who asked for consultations. They were there that weekend, and it was just hot, hot, hot. Many people were winning. You could see it. It was like that on Sunday, and then it was on Monday and Tuesday and part of Wednesday. Nobody was winning. I know the crowd's bigger on Sundays, and my friends were there on Sunday, not Saturday. My consultants, my clients, and so some of them are friends, and so I've become friends. The next weekend was going to be what? So if other people are winning, make use of the opportunity. Don't wait till morning. Go. If people aren't winning, I've said before, the weekends are tough and the odds are turned down, but if everybody's winning, then they just made a decision to do that. And so don't wait, because you could have your whole trip and the first 3 hours were hot, and you could tell because people are winning, and then after that they weren't, and you don't miss your opportunity. So adjust your plans according to whether or not everybody's winning, because my slot strategies are fine. They work as they work. Casinos that have the strategy that I am trying to have a counter strategy to, but if they don't want you to win, even if they have that strategy and you use my counter strategy, if they don't want you to win, if they don't want anybody to win, nobody will win. Magpie 11 says, as a FYI, there are casinos that lock up machine payouts over $3,000, which needs to be paid out like a hand pay, but no taxes are withheld. There are other places that will have a $600 hand pay limit. That's why I try to be careful about using the word hand pay, because a lot of people mean, oh, so you got a W-2G. Not necessarily. The casinos sometimes don't like to have a lot of vouchers worth thousands of dollars. Other casinos, it's okay, but some of them are have a kind of like a fraud, a scammer, somebody trying to duplicate vouchers, and then they just said, well, no vouchers over $600. Problem solved, pretty much. No $3,000 vouchers floating around and maybe getting lost. So there, I've seen it as low as $600. Now, at my casino, I can't put in more than $3,000 at a time. I know it's different limits at different places, and I don't see anywhere in the gaming regs where that is. But in my casinos in Ohio, I can't put more than $3,000 into the machine, which I have done. And then I made a $20 bet, and I won $50. What happens? It goes up to $3,000, and the difference is printed out without my asking for it. Print. And I'm like, what? There's a slip of paper. What? Oh, it's the difference. It only went up to $3,000 because I won and I got a voucher for $30. And so after that, I'd win $1,000 and I'd do this, and it was just spitting out vouchers at me, because anytime I just kept it at 3,000 and I was winning. And so I was like, next time I'm just going to put in $2,000, and then I have a little bit of flexibility, and I'm not like getting the machine to run out of voucher paper and have to be serviced or anything like that. So yeah, there's these little details. I'm a high limit slots player. I am been trying to do on my casino visits to learn $300, 2 hours of play, penny machines, just so it's many of those slots channels were playing slots with, Brian Christopher for years, never went over $5 bets. And now he's doing what, $125 bets, stuff like that I saw recently. He went up. Me, I came down. So I know stuff about high limit slots for that reason. So I try to remember to share some of this stuff. Trent, wonderful name, Trent. I will be in Vegas next week and have $1,200 in free play to use. What strategy would you use to maximize profit on that? Five-pull method. It's complicated. I mean, you might have seen my video on five spin method. You can use it with sophistication. All the casinos in the Las Vegas Strip have tastes. It's just a matter of, will they be paying out? So you don't have to look for taste, but you can use the five spin method to play on 20 machines to see if it's a good time to play in that casino, or should you come back in 6 hours? You can listen for people winning, and that's a guide to know whether or not the machines are set higher and to encourage the crowd, etc. And then that's an opportunity to play. That's one of my strategies. But then you can also go 3 o'clock in the morning and there's only 100 people in the casino because, it's Las Vegas. Of course there is, at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. And maybe you can't tell whether or not it's a winning time. So you can do it yourself. You can make minimum bets on 20 different machines to see whether or not you get a good return on the five spin method before you jump to maximum bets, maybe in the high limit room or something. So that's what I would recommend. Las Vegas is sophisticated, so use the sophisticated version of the five spin method to take advantage of them. Special thanks to Margaret Magpie 11 for Yep. She says it right there. I'll show it to everybody in the watching the recording. Magpie says, answering Doug's question and also Trent's and one of the persons earlier about going to Las Vegas. Doug, many Vegas casinos give taste with the five spin method, five pull method, but you don't win your initial bankroll back. Test and evaluate to invest further. I like Plaza, Golden Gate, and the Bellagio with location number 9. Steve says, John, in all your years of slots play, which years did you do better in slots, before 2012 or after Central Computer Server? I had a wonderful time before 2012 at Prairie Meadows on that one machine, because at that time I had my one strategy, which is the one I won on. And so I went to play that machine for 6 weeks, and then it shut down, as I was telling you. But I also went back later that year and the next year and then the next year, just once or twice. I was learning that I had to assess casinos to see assess slot machines once a year to see if it had changed. So there was, that was my one approach. And the thing you're asking about is, have I known all that I know this whole time? And I've been figuring it out as I went, and adding more. And it's certainly been an improvement in my strategies with YouTube, because I get feedback in my Facebook groups. I get feedback on what works where and how often and what other people are having. Because I go to casinos, but 20, 30, there's 1,000 casinos in the United States, and I don't spend a lot of time in New Mexico, so it's great to get feedback on what people are trying and what's working for them, and then I add that to my knowledge base and yours. Let's see. Let's see, what questions do we have? Location number 9. It's my strategy number 9. I've stopped using numbers on it. So Duke is asking about that. It's location, which I've recently renamed highly visible locations. Yeah. Location, location, location was a joke from Realty. What's the most important thing about buying a house? Location, location, and location. And it's a joke. So true, but still it's supposed to be funny. And yeah, I hope that helps people do all of what they need to do. And so improve your slots performance with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win, with which is here at professorslots.com/30 days. You'll also get 3 free valuable bonuses, including 1 month free membership to my Slots IQ membership, where you'll get community support and accountability. Visit professorslots.com to learn more about the free bonuses, course content, and testimonials from participants. But the price is going up next Sunday, a week from tomorrow at midnight, where no longer will be discounted at 40% off for an $80 savings, as it's been for a while. You have until midnight Eastern next Sunday to lock in that 40% for lifetime access to the course and all future prices increases. Okay, so that's it. What a great live stream. You'll see me in my next live stream on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. In the meantime, watch this video on how to use my tough love approach to inexpensively evaluate a slot machine and walk away if it's not a winning machine. Tough love. And everybody have a good trip to Las Vegas. For those that are going